After a TT and short track to begin the season, let's open it up for the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Texas Half Mile, presented by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys at Texas Motor Speedway. It's American Flat Track on NBCSN.
Flat track motorcycle racing. Just to recall what it was like in the beginning, let us take a quick look back at the turn of the century. It takes stout lads like them to go for this kind of competition. It's trials like this that have made the two-wheel little giant the tough piece of mechanism it is today. Take a look at this motorcycle.
Each of today's races draws large crowds from all over the country.
It's a revolution.
Testing and bettering, testing and perfecting. Right on, cowboy.
The wave of the future.
Got a good start anyway.
Yeah, and we'll see how hot I was the whole time.
Every chance I get to race now, I enjoy it.
What will you do? How hard are you willing to go? Will you let fear win? Or will you rise
Big one for Jared Mees.
and find victory?
Shayna Hexter takes the win.
It changes the way we look at racing.
Defending champion Jared Mees all smiles. He's had a couple weeks off to reset after a tough start to the season and to begin the chase of Briar Bauman, who leads the standings with a first and a third in the first two rounds this year. And will tonight be the night Brian Smith and the Howerton Crosley machine gets rolling as well. And in the singles class, Mikey Rush on the Richie Morris Racing Honda with factory support. He wants to be a Red Rider in victory lane. Shayna Texter on the Red Bull KTM looking for a victory as well. And the production twins class in action for the first time this year. Danny Eslick, former winner of the Daytona 200 road race, looking to open up the throttle and win in his class. Jason Wygant joined by AJ Allmendinger and Kristen Beat here at Texas, which hosted a phenomenal race last year. The Texas Half Mile. Oh, huge crash. What happened? Bonzi going flying, literally. Shayna's going to try it one more time. Can Mishler cover? Texter's got it open. He's barely hanging on. She's running it all the way down to the inside. Checkered flag, Morgan Mishler. Morgan Mishler, first-time winner here in Texas. The AFT Twins main event, Jared Mees. Salute the fans and cruise to the Texas Half Mile win.
No offense to the competition, but I wanted to annihilate them. I wanted to put it on them bad.
Putting some work on the track right now. That's actually Johnny Lewis, a pro, who's helping prep it here in Texas, driving the Caterpillar. So a bit of a revamped surface this year, AJ.
Yeah, Jason. Half-mile racetrack, Texas Motor Speedway. The third year that we've come to this racetrack, 12 degrees of banking. The corners are 80 feet wide, makes for a lot of line choices. Great racing, side by side. We're going to see a great night.
And a little different feel than the first two rounds of the year as well. Let's send it to Kristen.
Thanks, Jason. Earlier in the day when I was talking to Brian Smith, with the biggest smile possible, he told me, I'm so excited for you to see a real race. In his opinion, the half miles and the miles are genuine American flat track racing. And with these 80 feet wide turns and 12 degrees of banking, there's plenty of room and momentum for riders to make passes. He told me that if this track holds together, we are going to see true American flat track racing here tonight. So another night of unpredictable racing is on tap at Texas Motor Speedway.
Thanks, Kristen. Brian hoping for a better result this year than last year. Watch, he goes down, breaks his leg in this crash, and ignites a wild chain of events that results in Steve Bonzi getting launched. Bonzi would injure his ankle in the crash, and Smith, the 2016 champion, would essentially see himself eliminated from title contention. He wants revenge now.
I'm Brian Smith, Grand National number 4, ride for Crosley on the Kawasaki American Flat Track Series. The sport of flat track is best explained to the outsider as NASCAR and drift car meets, but on a motorcycle on dirt. It's fast sideways, and you can't really explain it unless you see it. I've been racing motorcycles since I was 7 years old. Started in Michigan, turned pro when I was 16, and hit the circuit hard traveling the country. Been at it every weekend of my life since I was 7 years old. My demeanor is just calm, cool, and collected. I do what I think is best for me, and usually keep to myself and just focus on racing. I've been recently told I was the OG of the sport. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I am the vet of the sport now. I'm the oldest guy out there. It's weird for me to say that because I remember my rookie season like it was yesterday, but I'll take the veteran name, that's fine. Still want to win, still want to kick everybody's ass.
Oh, huge crash, what happened? I believe it was Smith that was down also.
Racing flat track is definitely dangerous. I can show you my scars or show you some crash footage. There's an occupational hazard there for sure. Last year here at Texas, I just made a simple racer mistake. Went into turn 1, hit a little ridge in the track, slid down. It would have been easy crash, but for some reason when I slid down, I just stuck right in the groove and caused a big old mess. I remember hearing one bike go by really close and kind of realized, okay, I'm in danger. Some guy clipped my arm, some guy clipped my leg, some guy jumped my bike, and then Stevie Bonzi going to the moon and back and breaking his ankle. Thank God that was all that happened to him. You know, it all happened so fast. You know, it's like being thrown out into the expressway at rush hour. You just don't know which way to go. A couple guys got hurt. We all came back to race another day, but it was scary. My goal for 2019 is to make a bid at the championship. We're doing everything in our power. The key to winning, there's no magic recipe, there's no secret sauce. It's just being comfortable on the bike, your team giving you a good bike, you trust in your team, the team trusting you. We have had a rough start, but it's a long season. We got a long way to go, a lot of good tracks for me coming up. So I think as long as we keep our head down, we'll be in the hunt at the end of the year.
Let's get to some racing, our AFT Twins class storylines. This is semi number 1. Number 5, Jake Johnson on the Estenson Yamaha, the early lead, but Jared Mees on the factory Indian, able to use the low line to get around him and pull away. Brandon Robinson, the winner of our last race in Atlanta, pulls up into 2nd, but the big story is Smith here on the number 4, finishes 10th, does not qualify for the main, so another disappointment after a rough start to the season for the 2016 champ. No surprise, Semi-2, Briar Bauman keeps on rolling.
Briar Bauman been the fastest qualifier in all 3 rounds, showing he is definitely the man to beat.
And our old buddy Larry Pegram 2nd in that semi, so he's gonna have a good grid position in the main event, which will be coming up a little bit later. Could it be Mees versus Bauman? We'll see. As for the singles class, Mikey Rush, racing for a Texas-based Honda team. He wants to put that Honda on top here in Texas. We'll talk to him about the singles class next. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. If you go down, call Russ Brown. By Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas, the entitlement sponsor of AFT Singles. And by Cat Rental Store, the official heavy equipment supplier of American Flat Track. Welcome back. Let's look at the Roof Systems AFT Singles point standings, AJ.
Yeah, Dalton Gauthier has shown his strength with a win in 2nd place. Can riders like Bromley, Mikey Rush, Morgan Mishler that won here last year go out there and run Dalton Gauthier down?
And a lot of riders learning new equipment like Mikey Rush on that factory Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Richie Morris racing machine. See if he can adapt.
I've always been a Honda guy. I've always liked Hondas. So it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of American Honda coming back in our sport. Some of my past heroes that I've looked up to in my career, Ricky Graham, Bubba Shelbert, rode for American Honda back in the day. So it's cool to be the guy that's back on American Honda and dirt tracks. RMR does a great job running a professional program, and this whole program we got over here with the RMR Honda team is awesome. I'm having a great time already this year. I'm willing to help out anybody on the team or anybody that has any questions. They come up to me and ask anything, and I think we all gel really well, and everything's going well so far. Having all these guys behind me, it's a big help for me, definitely. I usually do almost all this on my own, so it's a big weight off my shoulders to just focus on racing and showing up at the races ready to do my job. So it's a huge benefit for me. I think we're off to a pretty fair start. We're sitting 4th in the points. I had a decent finish at Daytona, just outside of the podium. I was a little bummed out about that, but 4th place is good, and we had a 6th place at Atlanta, so I think we're in a really good spot. We got a lot of races left, so I think we can make some good progress, and the bikes are getting better and better every weekend. I know they did a lot more track work this season, so I think the track's gonna be a lot better, a lot more racier. It was a one-liner, so you had to get off the line really well because it was really hard to pass. But on these tracks, if you slip the groove and go wide, you're going to cost yourself a whole bunch of positions and a whole bunch of time. So I think mainly on these types of tracks, just keep your wheels in line and be patient with the throttle and put yourself in a good position. try to get on that podium. That's what I'm really hungry for, and I think we can do it with the progress we made in the break since Atlanta. So get off the line and put myself in a good position, and hopefully we can get up on that box tonight.
All right, let's see if Mikey Rush can get up on the box tonight.
Yeah, he's shown consistency so far this year. Can he really develop with this new bike and new race team to go out there and contend consistently to go win races and podiums?
And if he does that, he'll find himself in title contention. You know, Honda would be very excited if he could pull off the #1 plate this year, but this singles class is loaded. There's another factory team out there as well. It's Red Bull KTM, but Shayna Texter on that orange machine. A struggle to start the season, but this is traditionally a good track for her. Kristen?
Shayna Texter completed the 2018 season 3rd overall in the singles division. Shayna, how would you assess your 2019 season so far?
It's been going pretty good. You know, we've been struggling a little bit just getting up to speed and accustomed to the new settings, but we're there. We're right where we were last year, back here in Texas, so I'm excited to get going.
You won in Texas in 2017. You finished 2nd here last year. What needs to happen for you to replicate those performances?
I think it's going to start, right off the bat, right in qualifying. We're going to have to qualify well and get good starts all day in the heat, semi, and main, and, run a strong 15 laps. In Atlanta, I kind of started to fade, with some rear grip towards the end of the race, and, hopefully we can do a consistent 15 laps.
Let's get to qualifying with our Roof Systems AFT singles storylines. Tristan Avery at the number 16 out front early, but Shayna makes the move. Definitely stepped up the game from rounds 1 and 2.
From the first laps on the racetrack, she's been strong, showing that she's got the pace. She loves this place. She might contend for the win.
Raspoli, Mishler, and Oliver Brindley, the Englishmen, round out the top 5 there. This is a scary crash in semi 2. Max Whale
gets in there, gets loose. It hooks on him. He goes over the handlebars, gets tossed off. Fortunately for him, all the riders were able to miss him as they went by.
Woo! Whale was able to get up uninjured, certainly probably a little beat up. Back to the battle for the lead, Jesse Janis from the 132. He won the opener in Daytona, but here comes Mikey Rush. He's got that Richie Morris Racing Honda dialed. So does his teammate in 3rd, Cameron Smith. And your defending series champ, Dan Bromley, in the mix as well. And James Ott making his pro debut, a rider just out of the amateur ranks, showing some speed in 4th. But with the semis wrapped, maybe we're looking at a KTM versus Honda showdown. Let's get one more update with Kristen.
Our singles points leader, Dalton Gauthier, tonight he's running double duty, and earlier in the day I spoke with his team manager, Robbie Bobby. He said they're focused on body and bike maintenance, keeping Dalton hydrated. I just spoke with Dalton a second ago. He said it's going to be tough, but he's feeling all right. The physical demands of running both races were expected, but the bike isn't quite where he needs it to be. Something to also note, this is his debut weekend on the Husqvarna. He started the season off borrowing bikes. The Husqvarna is a new bike he'll race for the duration of 2019. It's a work in progress, is what Robbie Bobby just told me. Another adjustment for the comeback kid tonight.
There's Cameron Smith. We mentioned strong ride on his Honda, 3rd in the semi. Looking to put it maybe in the top 3 in the main. And there's Rush. He and Shayna Texter have been duking it out. You see Texter off to the right, both winning their semis. Texter the fastest qualifier and very quick usually on this racetrack. So a battle looms between those two. Who else can get in the mix? So Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys starting lineup. Mentioned that James Ott, the rookie, I mean literally a rookie, not his first season, his first race tonight, looking quick every time he's been on the track. So he could be a dark horse. And we are ready to go racing. 15 laps, 17 riders here at the Texas Half Mile. Let's go racing. And for Texter, the traditional bad start for her. That's usually a problem. It continues to be. And look at Jesse Janis on the 132 takes the early lead.
A horrible start for Shayna Texter. She kind of jumped on the line, had to get on the brakes and take back off. She's already back to 10th. She's going to have to make a run up to the lead in 15 laps.
Tristan Avery in 2nd, looking to make the move to get around. No, it's actually the 15 of Rush who is in. Yes, a Rush going from 3rd to 1st immediately.
Mikey Rush gets to drive off turn 4, 3 wide into turn 1, takes the lead. He's going to try to run away with this thing.
And there's Dan Bromley right there on the number 1. We are on board with Shayna Texter, who's making moves in a hurry. And already in the 3rd after the bad start, she's probably around 7th. Look at another pass she's trying to make down to the inside. She's got it on Avery.
Unbelievable. Shayna Texter, horrible start, making up for it in the first 2 laps.
Well, what's interesting about Texter, she's small, probably the lightest rider out here. That's great on the straightaways and in the race, but she doesn't have the traction off the start, so that has always been a problem for her. But she has made up ground in a hurry. Right now, she still has the leaders in sight, Janish and Rush, and she's going after Janish.
What I've noticed all night, she's getting drive off the corners, throws it into turn 3 on Jesse Janis, puts an elbow on him, moves him out of the way. Shayna Texter up to second. Watch out, Mikey Rush.
AJ, that was close. I mean, it was maybe 2 inches between them. And now she's right on the rear tire of Rush, but Janish trying to diamond that corner and come right back on her. Oh, we got a rider down. That's Stallings. Normally a contender in these races. Is that going to bring out? No. Do not have to bring out the wheel-in caution lights. It's full-bore racing. Texter has quickly made the move on Janice for second and going for the lead.
Another great drive off turn 4. She sends it into turn 1. New leader, Shayna Texter.
That is 7th to 1st in about 5 laps. We're now on lap 6. And also throwing it in there, the 69 of Morgan Mishler, last year's winner. Don't count him out as well. Let's see if Texter can get away now that she's moved to the front quickly. A couple other riders battling back here. Your defending series champ, the one of Bromley, has been buried. He is normally a podium guy, but he's several positions out of the top 3 right now. Mishler's the rider I'm watching. He's trying to make moves on Janish for 3rd in the 69.
Morgan Mishler knows, watching Shayna Texter get away, he's got to go to have a chance to go win this race.
He's up to 3rd in the Waters Auto Body D&D Cycles KTM around Janish. Another rider to watch, James Ott, in his first pro race, 193, the white bike. He is in 5th, and he's trying to get Janish as well. Pretty impressive charge for the young kid. Look at this. Mikey Rush continues to keep some heat on your leader, Texter, as we watch Ott using the outside.
Nice and smooth. You wouldn't even know it's his first pro race. Trying to get around Janish for 4th.
Using different lines. We also got the radar out looking for Dalton Gauthier, our points leader. He needs to make up ground to salvage some points as well, as Shayna Texter on the Red Bull KTM's trying to get away from Mikey Rush on the Honda. But it is not over yet. Stay with us from Texas. American Flat Track Singles Class main event rolls on here at the LM's Honda Texas Half Mile. This is your leader, Shayna Texter, trying to get away from Mikey Rush. She went from 7th to 1st to get the spot, but Rush is making it tough on her. But the closest battle on the track is Janish, the veteran, and Ott in his first pro race, and he's moved around Janish.
James Ott rolls the outside of Jesse Janish into 4th. He's got his sights set on Morgan Mishler for a podium.
That would be incredible if he puts it on the box in his very first shot at it. He is not intimidated by anyone in this class. Look at this, working the outside, now down to the inside. He's got the pass made. James Ott to 3rd. Send it down to Kristen with an update.
This marks Cameron Smith's first main event of the season. When we spoke this week, he said he was disappointed with his finishes in the first 2 rounds, but he's been testing and getting the bike dialed in ever since. He said that today he feels like he's on point. We'll see what he can do in this main event.
Thanks, Kristen. That is the teammate of Mikey Rush. 2nd place right now on the Richie Morris Racing Honda. Another rider behind Smith that's struggling a bit. That's Ryan Wells, former champ of this class. A lot of new teams, new bikes. He's on a Yamaha this year. Everyone trying to dial in the equipment early, and we've had 3 different types of racetracks to start the year, but it has all come down to this. Ott is putting heavy pressure on Rush. Rush is all over Texter. It's getting down to the final 2 laps, and any of these 3 riders can win it. Look at Ott.
James Ott around the outside of Mikey Rush. Can he get it done? Rush holds him off. Still looking to chase down Shayna Texter for the win.
Man, the way Texter moved to the lead immediately, you thought she'd check out, but no, they have kept her in sight. White flag coming out. 3, maybe 4 riders still with a shot to win in the last lap.
Mikey Rush, 1 lap to go. He's gonna have to send it. Only problem is, James Ott behind him. He wants 2nd.
Unbelievable. So you got the factory KTM at Honda and the new kid. Who's gonna come out on top? A big Rush around the outside, trying to get around Rush is Ott. Now Rush trying to make a move on Texter. Checkered flag. Shayna Texter takes her first win of the season and the first win ever for the Red Bull KTM team. Rush congratulates her. James Ott's got to be pumped to debut on the podium. What a race.
That was exciting. Once Shayna Texter got to the lead, I thought she was gone, but Mikey Rush, James Ott, they held her. What a battle for the win.
Yeah, these half miles are always fun to watch. Last year's winner, Morgan Mishler, a solid 4th. Little bit of a struggle, but in the end, salvaging a 5th for your points leader, Dalton Gauthier. Let's go down to Kristen.
Shayna, congratulations. You won here in 2017, finished 2nd here last year. Now you take the win here in 2019. Also the first time that Factory KTM has visited Victory Lane in the American Flat Track Series. What emotions are you feeling right now, and are you relieved to finally get this win in?
It's huge. It's to get that first win for the KTM Factory Red Bull team. It's incredible. You know, the team has worked so hard to get us up to speed, and I think that showed tonight. You know, I just can't thank them enough. You know, my trainer Alden and Breyer for pushing me back home every weekend to get my fitness up, especially after that bad start that I had. So to be able to rebound and get this win, it's huge.
What can you tell us about the track and how it was changing out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it was kind of a little bit tricky. In turns 3, it was a little bit some holes forming, and actually come main event, it kind of seemed like they got them smoothed out, so hats off to the track crew. You know, it was kind of crazy. I'd go in there and anticipate the hole, and it was gone, so that was cool. You know, the track had a pretty good grip, and, you know, the starts were key, though. You had to get off the good start, and because if not, you got kind of buried in the back and had to pick your way up through.
Well, that's what she did. And she's also picking her way up through the point standings. After not making the main at round 1, she's up to 6th. Gauthier got Rush, Janice, Bromley right there. This could be a battle right down to the finale. And 3 winners in the first 3 rounds. To give you an idea of the parity of this class, here's your podium. Texter flanked by Rush on that Honda. And Ott, the rookie, pro debut, 3rd. Amazing racing here. But to the victor go the spoils. That's Shayna Texter. And also you see Jerry Stenchfield, owner of Bruce Systems in Dallas, Texas. Big part of that program. They are happy. And a new championship about to kick off right now. Our production twins class. Stay with us. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Indian Motorcycle. Be legendary. By Vance & Hines, the presenting sponsor of AFT Twins. By American Flat Tracker Clothing Company. Find your groove at AmericanFlatTracker.com. Let's do it. We're going to kick off an entirely new championship production twins. We ran a few of the races last year, but this season we're racing for points on the half-mile and mile racetracks. Production. Get it off the showroom floor, get it set and go racing.
Yeah, it really levels the playing field for privateer riders. Gives riders coming from singles a chance to ride twin-cylinder bikes without having to deal racing against the factory efforts.
Good way to gain experience, and we have such a wide variety of talent trying this class, we really have no idea who the favorites are. Maybe it's this guy, Danny Eslick, great road racer and flat tracker, part of the Black Hills Harley-Davidson team.
Why Danny? That's a great question. My rider, Dawson Schiefer, number 33, was hurt. He got hurt in the Atlanta round.
Oh, 1 rider's going down, now 2, now 3 into the airpin.
Broke his thumb and dislocated it. So we gave Danny Eslick a call. He said, yeah, I'm all over that. He said, why not?
This opportunity came about to ride Terry Reimer's XG 750R from Vance & Hines Harley-Davidson, and just super excited about it. I like staying busy.
Production Twins is out there to get more entry level. It's just a stepping stone to pro twins.
You kind of have some guys that have moved down from the GNC Twins class down to Production Twins, and then you got the kids that are, young kids coming from the singles class up into Production Twins, and it makes for a really good stepping stone into the GNC Twins class. It's a lot of fun to be out here and riding. I was fortunate enough to go test it here a couple days ago, so I've got a few laps on it, but basically this is our first real go-around with the XG. It's super fast. We basically had to tune the thing down to try to get it to hook up, so the XG 750 is definitely a fast motorcycle. Once you get it up high in RPM, it really stretches its legs, so should be pretty good. I've grown up racing motorcycles, so I don't really get nervous sitting around here, but once you put the helmet and the gear on and you get on the racetrack, all that goes away. The natural feel comes out and you go ride as hard as you can and go as fast as you can.
I think it's a great fit, I really do. I think he'll do well, and if anything, he's gonna give us great feedback on our motorcycles that'll help us and Dawson, the number 33, that we normally run with.
have fun. That's always my expectations, is just have as much fun as I can. I want to be racing for a win in the production twins class.
Eslick out of Oklahoma, one of many riders who would like to win in this class was Corey Texter. 20 of Ben Lau, all the way on the outside is Chad Coase. A lot of riders who have won races and even titles in the singles division now getting their shot here in production twins. And it's actually Dalton Gauthier leading the points in this year's singles class, pulling double duty tonight and out front early.
Yeah, he would take the lead and try to run away early with this race.
Colby Carlisle, singles champ 2 years ago in the 130/60 Yamaha, sliding sideways, loses the number 3 position, and look at this move by Corey Texter.
Passing to turn 1, Corey Texter takes the lead from Dalton Gauthier, goes on basically just to dominate this race.
And that's a nice shot in the arm for him. Had a couple of off seasons. Maybe now this class is where he's going to be happy. Look at this battle for second. Unbelievable. Ryan Varnes making a 2-for-1. And then Carlisle on the 136 Estenson Yamaha gets to the inside on Gauthier to take over third. But absolute, as you said, domination from Corey Texter. And yes, that was his sister, Shayna, that won our singles class. This is the first time ever siblings have won 2 different main events on the same night in American Flat Track. Good job, Corey. Varnes and Carlisle on the podium. Gauthier, the double duty, ends up in 4th. Kel Kochman, 5th. And Eslick on that Black Hills Harley-Davidson in 9th inside the top 10. This is going to be fun to watch this championship all year. Let's send it to Kristen.
Corey, congratulations. We know that it's been a minute since you've been in victory lane. How are you feeling being able to get this win in the first production twins class of the season?
Yeah, it feels good. You know, I work my ass off. I train hard. We put a lot of work into this program, and I'm just working hard during the week. And over the years, you know, it's disheartening when the hard work doesn't pay off. But I don't quit. Learned after my dad. I just keep digging. I don't give up. I'm sure people kind of they wrote me off, you know, going into this race. I saw a lot of title favorites and favorites for this win, and I wasn't even picked in the top 3. So I wouldn't say that's extra motivation, but I definitely noticed it, and I'm here. You know, I'm going to battle all year long, and I'm just a racer. You know, whatever makes the most sense for me and my program, it's what I'm going to do. And G&G Racing stepped up. We agreed to do this production twins class, and that's what we're shooting for this year. So I'm happy, but I want more. I want to keep going.
All right, good for Corey. Really nice kid, lives and breathes flat track. Awesome to see him on top tonight. We're going to transition to the twins class, but first our Dunlop tire talk. Everyone is going to be running the harder compound R8 tonight.
Yeah, this racetrack's been very hard, very abrasive. The Dunlop R8 tire's been holding up really well, so we're going to see throughout the course of this race on whether one rider to the next rider can really be easy on that throttle and not burn that R8 up.
Yeah, you can see the grid here from the start. These are the best riders throughout qualifying this afternoon, all on the R8. Everybody else picking the R8 as well on this hard surface here in Texas. Back here at the half mile, maybe it's a boost for some riders like Jeffrey Carver who want more than what they've had early in the first 2 rounds of the season. Carver is with Kristen.
Thanks, Jason. When I think of Jeffrey Carver, I first and foremost think of speed, but secondly, I think of his unique race mentality. He's confident taking risks. He's always looking for new lines. Jeffrey, where does that come from?
You know, I don't know. I think just a lot of time riding motorcycles, riding a lot of different bikes, and just a little bit different mentality. You know, I just think it's kind of like building, and for me, it's always trying to have forward momentum. And when I have forward momentum and I have the comfortability, I kind of find myself being able to take them risks and push it just a little bit farther on the edge.
Looking at the track here tonight, where do you see yourself capable of making an impact?
You know, trying to be smooth, I think, get myself comfortable enough to be able to, you know, dive around, make different lines happen. This track was real technical whenever I won it here in 2017, so I'm just trying to get myself back in that type of mindset and be able to adjust to the track. It's breaking up. They've done a really good job. AFT's done a great job with the racetrack, but you know, it's just trying to find the smoothest, fastest lines out there, and sometimes something different is what works.
But that is his specialty. We call him the Wizard. Maybe it's his night. We'll see whose night it really is, because the AFT Twins presented by Vance and Hines main event is next. It's the Al Lambs Honda Texas half mile at Texas Motor Speedway. This is the big one, our Twins main event. Let's get one more update from Kristen Beat.
Today has been a long day for Jared Mees. He was up at 3 a.m. to catch a flight here to Texas Motor Speedway after his original flight was delayed. After working around Jared Mees, it's easy to see he has a procedure. He's disciplined, he's focused. When I asked him if his travel would disrupt his mental preparation or throw him off, he shrugged it off. He said no, but guys, 3 a.m., now that's got to be wearing on him at this point in the night. Also something to note, he has not won a race in his last 7 starts, but he said, I won this race last year. I'm happy with my bike and where I'm at. And guys, if anyone could get it done tonight, despite all of those setbacks, Jared Mees could be that guy. Look for the one bike in the defending champion to return to victory lane. That's my bet. What is yours, guys?
That's a pretty safe one, Kristen. There's Sammy Halbert. Those Harleys, Vance and Hines, getting better and better every week. If I have to pick, though, I'm going to go with Bauman. He's fastest in qualifying, on top of the points. That's my guy right now.
I would agree, Jason. Briar Bauman right now has had the speed every weekend. Jared Mees, the defending champion, the leader of this race team, has to go beat his teammate.
Well, here's the thing. If Mees wins, you could imagine maybe that's going to open some floodgates, because when he had a win streak early last year, it was tough to stop him. So you know that Bauman and the rest of the field knows he's had some bad luck to start the year. Try to hold him down. It's going to be really a challenge tonight.
Yeah, it's like blood in the water. You got to take it when you can get it.
Card is sideways, and we'll wait for the Wheeling start light to ignite the night here in Texas. Good start for our boy Larry Pegram, the 72, down to the inside, 45 years old, gonna lead them into turn 1. Bauman able to take the measure of him down to the inside, and same thing, Mees to second.
Jared Mees sees Briar Bauman to the lead, knows he's got to lock onto that rear tire.
And he has done that. He's right there with Bauman. This could be a showdown. Brandon Robinson, winner of our last race in Atlanta. He is 4th behind Pegram. Can he run with the lead too? And the factory Indian's already trying to get away.
You can see the rear grip of Briar Bauman picking that front tire up coming off of turn 2.
And when you wheelie off a corner in a flat track race, you've got that thing dialed. Same thing with Mees, putting major heat on the 14 of Bauman.
These two factory Indian motorcycles are starting to gap 3rd place. Brandon Robinson has moved into 3rd over Larry Pegram, but these two are starting to pull away.
Robinson back by Kennedy Racing. There's the opening that Mees was looking for, and he's already into the lead. SNS onboard shows you the completion of that pass, but look at that. Bauman gonna try to go to school back here and maybe learn some of the lines.
Briar Bauman had just rode a little too hard into turn 3. Gave Jared Mees that little opening he needs. Can Briar Bauman, for the first time this year behind his teammate, find a way back by?
This is really fun to watch. They are really experimenting with the lines, coming in high, coming in low, swapping it in the center of the corner. Long way to go. I think they're feeling each other out, AJ.
Yeah, Briar Bauman right now trying different lines, trying to find a way around Jared Mees. More with Kristen here on Briar Bauman.
Briar Bauman said, I love half miles. His first Twins win came on the Lima half mile. He said they really focused this weekend on setting the bike up for what they anticipate the main event will demand. They didn't do a good job of that at Atlanta. It's the focus here in Texas.
What's working right now, you give Jared Mees the lead early in one of these races, like we saw last year, he can check out. He's not able to do it this time. Bauman right there. Pegram still solid in 4th. And a nice job of the 27, Robbie Pearson out of Illinois. And he is under fire. Look at the factory Harley, the 69, Sammy Halbert.
Yeah, Sammy Halbert's had a struggle so far at the beginning of this year, but a solid run, looking to try to move around Robbie Pearson here to get into the top 5.
And his teammate Jared Vanderkoy very good in the first 2 rounds. So you can tell that bike, the XG 750 Harley, they have made big strides for 2019, and Halbert trying to show it, looking for an opening on Pearson. There are battles all over this racetrack. We're going to follow these two for 5th and 6th, and it's still close up front. Bauman not letting Mees go. Really applying pressure to the champ.
What I love watching Briar Bauman is he gets on the back side of that seat, trying to get some weight on the back tire, looking around Jared Mees here. He's cleared him.
Got it.
Briar Bauman back to the lead.
And you also saw Halbert taking the 5th place position away from Pearson. So this track has proven racy. Got a couple of different areas where riders can execute a pass. Getting around Jared Mees is difficult, but leaving him in the dust, even more challenging than that. The champ is not going anywhere. He's camped out on the rear tire of Bauman.
Jared Mees not used to seeing a teammate of his right around him for the lead. What does he have? Can he get back around him?
Got the onboard here with Bauman. Indian Motorcycles bringing that to us. Was that a mistake, or did he try to get to the high line? He left the door open, that's for sure. And it's gonna make a big difference. There goes Mees to the inside. Way up top is Bauman.
Jared Mees throws it down into turn one. Deep on the throttle. It actually moved Briar Bauman up out of the groove, into the slick there. Jared Mees now has a small gap. Can he run away with it?
Yeah, this is a critical juncture halfway through. Can Bauman stick with Mees? Or is Mees about to get his season rolling with a big win? Stay tuned for the finish. It's American Flat Track on NBCSN. This is your leader, Jared Mees. Here at the Texas half mile. He takes a quick glance. You can see what's behind him. Your series leader, Briar Bauman, has hung right with him. And Brandon Robinson here on the Kennedy Racing Indian, not too far back either. Winner of our last race in Atlanta. Podium position right now. If the leaders slow each other up, maybe he can get in contention for back-to-back wins. This is impressive for Bauman. Mees, as we went to break, was starting to open up a gap. Bauman's reeled it back in.
Briar Bauman found some different lines again. Leaning on that back tire again, trying to get weight on that rear. Get some drive off the corner. Brandon Robinson here. Oh, we got a battle for the lead still. Briar Bauman looking under Jared Mees.
Oh, this is great, and still 10 laps to go. Now 9 as they come across the start-finish line into turns 1 and 2. Bauman's looking high, he's looking low. Can he execute a pass? And by the way, if he does, when does he want to do it? Does he want to get around Mees? Because you know Mees is going to go to school if you get around him too early.
It's Jared Mees. You pass him when you can get it.
Okay, he's trying right now, working that line on the inside. Not quite enough to make the pass. It is tight.
Has one of these two riders saved a little bit more of that rear Dunlop tire for these last 5 laps?
Yeah, it's a chess match. You see that a lot on the big mile tracks, but the way this half mile has come together, you really are wondering, what is the strategy for Bauman in second and for Mees, your leader? You know Mees would like to check out. He tried. He wasn't able to do it. Little bit better, though, in this sector right here. Pulled it out just a little bit.
Yeah, Briar Bauman starting to struggle a little bit on the exit of these corners. Maybe that rear tire going away just a little bit.
And they have continued to extend it over the third place of Robinson, but he has a big, big gap. It's Pegram and Halbert going at it for 4th and 5th. Bauman entering the corner really deep, and this time was able to hold it on the corner exit and close right back up.
Briar Bauman searching. What I notice about Jared Mees right now, he's consistent. He's found a line. He likes it. But Briar Bauman is starting to close back up on him. 5 to go.
That's a specialty of Mees. You very rarely see that bike step out of line. In contrast, you see Bauman, some laps are good, some laps are bad. They've been good the last 2, and he's right there to put pressure on. There's Robinson 3rd, 5 to go. Halbert on the Harley has taken 4th away, but still awesome job for our old buddy Larry Pegram in the top 5 at 45 years old. Battle for the lead continues. Gotta be impressed by this. Bubba Bentley, that's the mechanic for Mees. That crew has been together for a long, long time. They have taken on many challengers. It appears the rider they're gonna have to go through for the title, at least early in 2019, is Bauman. And Bauman is not making it easy for Mees to get his first win of the year. He keeps the heat on.
For the 2-time defending champion, it's crazy to say he needs this win. He hasn't won in over 7 races. His teammate, Briar Bauman, shown the new guy is the guy to beat. He's got to go take this win.
Yeah, but that's what champions do. Time starting to run out and the gap beginning to stretch between the leaders. This would be big if Mees can get this one. Had a couple of weekends off after our opener in Daytona and then round 2 in Atlanta. Whatever Mees and his crew, you saw Bentley, whatever they have figured out, it looks like the 2017-2018 style Jared Mees is back. Bauman's better than ever, but there's only 1 lap now separating Mees from his first win of the season.
Jared Mees been up since 3 a.m. He wins this race. I think he's going to stay up all night and celebrate.
It could be 3 a.m. before he goes to bed, yeah, because this is going to be huge for them. He's into turn 3, turn 4. The crew's excited. They know what's happened. Jared Mees has taken his first win of 2019. Bauman gave it everything he had. As we said before this race started, everyone knew they had to try to keep Mees down after a struggle to start the season. They didn't want him to get any confidence. They tried. They couldn't stop the champ tonight. Halbert, solid on the Harley in 4th. Pegram, a great ride, 5th. Vanderpoy, another Harley in the top 6. And by the way, with this win, Mees is now tied for 2nd all-time in half-mile wins. This is the type of racetrack he specializes in. Let's check out the Motul move of the race, and here's where Mees got the #1 spot.
You see Jared Mees throw it into turn 1, had a great drive off of 4, kept the throttle on just a little bit longer. Briar Bauman went in there, slid up too high, and this gave Jared Mees just enough gap to go win this race.
All right, could this open up the floodgates for another win? Let's talk to Jared.
Jared, you break a 7-race winless streak tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway. You allow Kenny Tolbert to take the victory lap for you, and when I asked you about it, you told me, I'm just ready to get home and see my wife and kids.
Yeah, man, we had one heck of a travel day yesterday on the airplane. We were on the airplane, me, Nicole, and Hayden, and all of a sudden they were like, oh, we got a deboard, there was something wrong with the plane. And then weather came, and I flew out at like 5 o'clock this morning to get here. Got in here at 10 o'clock, had to drive an hour and a half, was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The wife and kid had to stay back. I'm super bummed. Man, what a long day, and we were able to pull together with getting like 0 sleep last night. But yeah, it's so good to come here in front of Kenny Tolbert and Bubba Bentley's hometown track and win it again. And just, you know, I just didn't really feel like I had that mojo that I had last year yet. You know, I just felt like I was missing a little piece of the puzzle. Even in Atlanta, we got a 2nd, but I still felt like I was missing that little bit, you know, and Daytona was a huge bummer. So to come here and you know, start the momentum of this 6-7 race run that we have coming up here in the next 6-7 weeks is going to be so key. So I'm really, really excited and pumped.
Can we expect you to replicate the kind of consistency that you showed back in 2018?
I'm on a strong Indian motorcycle backed by Progressive Insurance. I don't see why we can't have a great year this year. To do that domination is definitely the goal and what we want to do. But the boys are so strong this year. I mean, Briar, he's got a good, solid team, and Brandon's riding awesome now, and just so many guys are so good, and the bikes are getting to be very equal, and people starting to figure out and get their liking to them. So I'd love to. We're going to take it race by race like we've always done, but I want to win races.
And now he gets to celebrate winning races. Kenny Tolbert, Bubba Bentley, the crew is back on top. Is anyone going to be able to stop him now? Let's talk to some other podium finishers next. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Vance & Hines, the presenting sponsor of AFT Twins. By Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas, the entitlement sponsor of AFT Singles. And by American Flat Tracker Clothing Company. Find your groove at AmericanFlatTracker.com. Sunoco Go the Distance Award. The standings, we total up every lap in practice, qualifying, and racing. It's early in the season, so everyone's about equal. Give Briar Bauman the tiebreaker because he is the points leader. Send it back to Kristen.
Briar, an all-Indian podium tonight, and the person that you battled in moments during that race, Jared Mees. What is it like to race Jared Mees compared to another rider?
Jared and I have similar mentalities. We both grind pretty hard, and he's gritty throughout the whole race. I knew that when I went by, it wasn't the last time I was going to see him, and he's so good at putting laps down just consistently. I'd hit a hole and he'd lose it. He'd get a 10th on me there, and here and everywhere, really. So, yeah, just racing with Jared. He's a champion. He's won as many races as he does because he earns it. He goes and gets it. So, to be close on a racetrack like this and actually make a few passes, it means a lot to me. This is a spot that I might struggle a little bit, so it feels good to get 2 races in a row now on the podium.
And he does still have the points lead, but look who's getting closer in 3rd.
Yeah, Jared Mees with that win moves all the way up to 3rd. Brandon Robinson, a win and a 3rd the last 2 races. Definitely quite challenging for this championship.
Yeah, renaissance season for Robinson.
Brandon Robinson has now strung together 2 consecutive podium finishes. And Brandon, this is a huge effort for you as a privateer rider coming out there and being able to perform as well as you've done.
Yeah, it's been great. Leaving a factory effort and going down to the privateer deal where you put a lot more effort and work in yourself, and it's a lot more meaningful for me. So to get on the box and to do it for my team, the Kennedy Racing team, and my crew chief, Brent Armbruster, we kind of got the whole, as you say, the whole band back together from 2016, and it's all paying off. It's great to have 2 podiums in a row. It's a good place to be, good momentum, and Jared and Briar are riding really good right now, and we had the same podium 2 weeks in a row, just different order. So it's really showing who the contenders are going to be this season, and it's going to be tough. Those guys, like I said, are riding good, and I just got to stay on top of my game and hopefully be there at the end.
We're going to throw a real curveball at the riders. The first ever Super TT, our next race in Arizona.
2 jumps, first time ever done. Briar Bauman, 1 Daytona, or can a guy like Henry Wiles, which is strong on the TTs, go out there and steal a win?
It's going to be must-watch May 5th right here on NBCSN. Congrats to Shayna and Corey Texter taking the wins in singles and production twins. Jared Mees back on top in the twins division. For AJ Allmendigger and Kristen Beat, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.